All right, so if you're trying to get up to speed fast on digital advertising, you know how it feels. It's like this alphabet soup of acronyms, right? SSPs, DSPs, exchanges. It's huge. But underneath it all, there's this one piece, maybe overlooked sometimes, the ad network. And that's what we're diving into today, using the sources you sent us, sort of giving you the shortcut.
Yeah, our mission today basically is to nail down what an ad network actually does, really clarify the difference between that and an ad exchange because that gets confusing, and then look at the smart tools advertisers use now to see what's actually working.
Absolutely. And it's so important because, we're talking about the core plumbing of how ads get delivered, especially now with programmatic buying being so central. People sometimes think ad networks are old news, but they're not. They play this vital role alongside exchanges. And honestly, understanding that network versus exchange distinction, that's the key. That really unlocks how the whole system fits together.
Okay, so let's start with the basics, but the important basics. What is an ad network? Fundamentally. Right, so think of it as a middleman.
Yeah.
It's a platform, yeah,
Yeah.
that sits between the publishers, the websites, the apps with ad space, and the advertisers who want to buy that space. It's basically brokering deals,
Yeah.
buying and selling digital ad inventory. That's its core job.
A broker. Okay.
And the process shows why it's needed. Its main function is really aggregation and organization. It does like three main things. First, it gathers tons of ad space from all sorts of publishers, big ones, small ones, just pulls it all together, aggregation.
Right.
Second, it sorts it, categorizes it, based on topic, audience type, location, whatever. Adds structure to this massive pile of inventory.
Okay. Structures the chaos a bit.
Exactly. And third, it sells that sorted inventory. It sells it to advertisers based on the specific things they're looking for, their targeting criteria. It's not just space, it's space plus context.
And the advertiser, the one buying, they're usually using something called a demand-side platform, a DSP, right? To tell the network what they need.
Precisely. The DSP is like their control panel. That's where they say, okay, I want to reach women aged 25-34, interested in fitness on mobile devices in California, really specific stuff.
Gotcha.
And the ad network is the matchmaker. It takes those detailed requests from the DSP and says, okay, I've got just the inventory pool for that for my publishers. It connects the need to the supply. It's kind of a curator, really.
Okay, this is where I think a lot of people, myself included sometimes, get tangled up. You hear ad network, ad exchange, ad server. They sound similar, but they do really different jobs, don't they? Maybe let's quickly touch on the ad server first, just to get it out of the way.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ad server is, well, it's simpler in a way. It doesn't buy or sell anything. It's just the tech that actually delivers the ad creative to the web page or app once the deal is done. And it counts things, impressions, clicks. It tracks performance after the sale. Think of it like the delivery truck, not the marketplace.
Okay, so delivery and tracking. Got it. Now, network versus exchange. That's the big one.
That's the core distinction, yeah. An ad exchange is fundamentally different. If the network is like a curated shop selling packages of inventory,
Yeah.
the exchange is more like a huge open stock market. It's a digital trading floor, really, where publishers and advertisers connect directly, usually through real-time bidding, RTB, dynamic, auction-based.
Ah, okay. So open market versus curated shop. And the network acts as that intermediary, maybe selling inventory in bigger chunks, right? Maybe based on historical prices.
Exactly. Networks often package things up, sell in bulk. The pricing might be more predictable, maybe negotiated up front. It's about managed access to inventory.
Whereas the exchange.
The exchange is impression by impression, usually. Advertisers bid on individual ad spaces in real time, often using a CPM model, cost per thousand impressions.
Yeah.
The key difference really is control versus efficiency. With the exchange, the advertiser has super granular control. They can bid differently for every single impression if they want, trying to get the best possible value.
Right, more control, but maybe more work, more volatility.
Definitely more management needed. The network offers simplicity and scale. You deal with one entity, get access to lots of inventory easily. You might give up a bit of that pinpoint control or price transparency, but you gain reach and efficiency.
So network for streamlined volume, exchange for granular control in an open auction, two different tools for different needs. Okay, that makes sense. But it raises the question, if the exchange gives you that real-time bidding and control, why are ad networks still so, central to how advertisers operate? What are the big advantages that keep people using them?
Yeah, great question. It really boils down to a few key things, primarily reach simplicity, and a degree of safety.
Safety. Interesting. Tell me more.
Well, first off, just the simplified transactions. Like we said, aggregation. Instead of an advertiser having to track down and make deals with like hundreds of individual
Which
websites,
sounds like a nightmare.
it is a nightmare, logistically. The network is a single point of contact. One deal gives you access to a huge pool of inventory. That simplicity, especially for large campaigns needing broad reach, is a massive benefit.
Okay, makes sense. One-stop shopping.
Then there's the contextual targeting piece.
Yeah.
This ties into the safety aspect. Good networks use tech to match the ad not just to the user, but to the content of the page or app it appears on. So, your airline ad appears on a travel blog and not on some random, potentially harmful site. This reduces wasted ads and, crucially, protects the brand's reputation. You don't want your ad next to something awful.
Ah, right. Brand safety. That's huge. So it's not just about efficiency, it's risk management too. That kind of reframes its value, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. It's a major factor. And third, related to that, is enhanced targeting within their aggregated pool. Because they've categorized the inventory, they let advertisers get quite specific. You can target by location, device, user behavior, interests within that curated pool. This helps drive better engagement because the ads are more relevant, even within that bulk buy. And finally, maybe the most obvious one, cost effectiveness, particularly for certain goals. If your main goal is just brand awareness, getting your name out there to as many relevant people as possible, buying inventory in bulk through a network can be very efficient for achieving maximum reach within a set budget. You might pay a slightly higher average CPM than cherry-picking on an exchange, but you get scale easily.
Gotcha. Scale and awareness. And just to link it back, this whole system relies on the publisher side too, right? They use supply-side platforms, SSPs.
Exactly. Networks work hand in glove with SSPs. The SSPs help publishers manage their inventory and make it available to networks and exchanges efficiently. It's all part of the same interconnected chain, maximizing revenue for the publisher while giving the network the inventory it needs.
Okay, this is where, for me, it gets really fascinating. The ads are out there running through these networks or exchanges. How do the really smart advertisers actually figure out what's working? How do they get beyond just clicks and impressions to, get a real edge? Let's talk about ad intelligence.
Right. This is about visibility. Because you're often working through these intermediaries, the networks, the exchanges, it can sometimes feel like a black box. So the whole point of ad intelligence tools is to shine a light inside that box, to understand what's truly driving performance. It's about tracking everything, competitor spending, the creatives they're using, where ads are actually showing up, and what's leading to conversions across all these different channels.
So it's not just my campaign data, it's seeing the whole landscape.
Precisely. It's competitive intelligence layered onto performance tracking. Looking at specific tools, you see capabilities like channel intelligence. This means, for example, tracking ad activity on, say, Facebook or TikTok. Not just seeing an ad, but understanding the creative angles, estimating the budgets behind them, figuring out the targeting strategies your competitors are using. Who are they going after?
Wow, okay.
And maybe even more critical now is tracking programmatic connected TV, or CTV. This space is exploding, but it's fragmented. So these tools help track where the ad spend is going on platforms like Hulu or Roku. Which specific shows or channels ads are appearing on, which platforms are delivering results. That kind of insight is gold because there's often very little native transparency there. It stops you wasting huge amounts of money.
So these tools are less about simple reporting and more like strategic reconnaissance, giving you insights to actually shape your strategy, like figuring out how others are targeting audiences.
Exactly. It fuels smarter audience targeting. You see what works for the leaders in your space and adapt. And it's not just theoretical. For you, the listener, trying to apply this intelligence directly supports critical business functions. Things like marketing benchmarking, how do we stack up? It helps prove ROI, connecting the dots between ad placements and actual business outcomes. It leads to smarter budget planning, putting money where it demonstrably works, not just guessing. And it helps build a truly cross-channel media strategy that makes sense across display, social, CTV, everything. It's about using real-time data to get that competitive advantage. #outro. So just to kind of wrap up where we've been, we started with the ad network, a key intermediary, understanding its value in providing scale and, importantly, contextual safety. Then we drew that crucial line between the network's managed approach and the open real-time auction environment of the ad exchange. Different tools, different jobs, And finally, we saw how vital that layer of ad intelligence is, giving advertisers the transparency to really see what's working, especially across complex channels like social and connected TV.
Yeah, it really underscores that managing the complexity of digital advertising just comes down to constant, detailed measurement, doesn't it? So, thinking about your own strategy, what does this all mean? We talked about that kind of dual role of the ad network. They need to help publishers make money, often by prioritizing broad reach and cost effectiveness for the advertiser. But they also promise that contextual relevance, trying to make sure ads fit the environment to avoid waste and protect brands. Which, when you think about it, leads to a really interesting tension, doesn't it? How often, in that push for maximum reach and hitting budget goals, does the network perhaps lean away from the absolute best contextual fit for the user? And maybe the final thought is, with all the real-time analytics available now, what's the key metric, the single data point that tells you when your campaigns focus on reach might be starting to compromise that crucial relevance or user experience? Something to think about. Definitely keep digging into how these servers, networks, exchanges, SSPs, DSPs all fit together. Understanding those connections is really how you master this whole digital supply chain. Until the next deep dive, keep learning.